Hey, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Kakwadash, brother. This is your brother, Elder Bishop Python, back at you with another video. And the time of Jacob's trouble is at hand. Listen to this.
To all the black people and all the Latino people, the Mexicans, need y'all to listen up. Did you hear what Trump said yesterday at a rally? And this especially to the blacks and Latinos who planning on vote for him. Did you hear what he said at his rally yesterday? He said he would give police a 1-hour purge to come in our community and do what the hell they gotta do to lower this crime. Do y'all understand what that means, right? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? He said he would give them 1 hour to come to our communities and do what the hell they gotta do to get crime down. So that means stop and frisk. That means just pulling us over. That means probably shooting us, tasing us, anything they want to do with no consequences. If that's what y'all want, then we deserve everything that we got coming to us. If that's what y'all want, a 1-hour purge on our communities. You got to worry about gas prices. You got to worry about groceries because you're going to be either locked up or dead. Just 1 hour. We say just give them 1 hour, y'all. Just 1 hour. That's all they need is 1 hour. Y'all still ain't going to listen. I know it. So, fuck it.
Hey, they made movies about it. Was there 3 or 4 purges now? They made movies about the purge. The last purge that I remember took place where? It took place in a hood where they were taking out Jakes, Latinos, Jakes, so-called minorities in the hood. That's the last purge, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe the one before that. And they showed you how they had they sent in foreign troops disguised as biker gangs, but they were agents, and they sent them in to initiate the purge. But basically, what this is part of Operation Warp Speed, and Trump did say a storm was coming. And if you remember, I believe it was a Super Bowl. I forgot the artist's name, but the song that was sung at the Super Bowl was "The Perfect Storm." So 2025 is going to be the year. You see everything that's happening right now. And now Trump is talking about what? The purge. And what they've been doing, he's talking about those certain states. Now, I don't know which states it is. I believe New York is one of them, to where if looters come into your store, Jake, and if they don't steal past a certain amount, so let's say they can steal up to $1,000, $900, by law, the police cannot do anything. By law, the store owners, they can't stop the criminals. They have to let them go. Matter of fact, there were instances in New York to where store owners went after the thieves, and the store owners got in trouble. The store owners actually went to jail, or the employees that stopped the thief. So what that was is that was a booby trap. That was a rat trap for Jake, because they knew if they passed that law, Jake is going to start robbing and stealing. You know, Jake that ain't got nothing, right? They're going to start robbing and stealing. And so that was a setup for Jake. And they're using Jake as a scapegoat to set up the draconian laws, to set up martial law. Because that's all this is. This is America at war with its citizen. And they're using Jake. And this is a way to get the citizens of the United States to be with them to go against Jake. This is their whole MO. Order ad chaos. Create the chaos, then you give the solution. Right? And here, hey, these ninjas and these Spanish ninjas are running up into the stores, are causing chaos, or stealing, and they're being a nuisance to our safe neighborhood. So of course, the rest of the people are going to be with a day of purge, which means they're gonna straight up. This is a day of Jacob's trouble. Okay, so I do have a scripture that immediately popped up on my mind while I was listening to this. We're gonna play Trump. I'm gonna read my scripture, but any of you brothers and sisters out there, any scriptures that popped in your head, throw them in the comment board. All right, anything relevant to this situation. All right, let's hit play.
Is at a level like we've never seen. It's rampant. It's rising. Okay. He interrupts me. I'm sorry, sir. Crime in this country has gone down. I said, without looking at numbers, is there anybody in this room that think that crime has gone down, has gone through the roof? And largely because of migrant crime. It's not only that. In New York, you can't walk.
Blame it on the migrants. Do you see how they set everything up? This whole thing was a setup, letting the migrants in, allowing people to steal from the stores, allow them to take over people's homes. We've been saying that, man. We've been prophesying about that. That this whole thing was a setup. They're using the migrants as a scapegoat, as a Trojan horse to bring in the martial law. So now that these people are going to accept it because they think, hey, this is just bettering our neighborhoods, bettering our streets, they've used Jake as a Trojan horse to bring martial law and to get the people to accept it. Now, if they decide to pass certain laws or executive orders, people are going to pass it because in their mind, they're just going to go after these ninjas. But what is going to happen is that they're going to go, that martial law is for all U.S. citizens. It's a setup. They're using Jake as a scapegoat.
Into a drugstore now, it's like you're in a prison of glass. If you want to buy aspirin, you have to wait 45 minutes for a clerk to come up and open because what's gone on. And every drugstore, I just lost one. I had a nice tenant. I just lost a tenant. I had a beautiful tenant at 40 Wall Street. I just lost a tenant. They opened a big chain drugstore. Big.
Okay, I got another video. Let me play that one because it's a little bit more to the point.
They didn't want to go over the $950. They're standing with calculators, adding it up. These are smart people. They're not so stupid, but they have to be taught. Now, if you had one really violent day, like a guy like Mike Kelly, put him in charge, Congressman Kelly, put him in charge for one day. Mike, would you say, he's right here, he's a great congressman. Would you say, Mike, that if you were in charge, you would say, oh, please, don't touch them. Don't touch them. Let them rob your store. All these stores go out of business, right? They don't pay rent. Then the city doesn't have money. It's a chain of events. It's so bad. One rough hour, and I mean real rough, the word will get out and it will end immediately.
Now, this devil is not smiling. Look at his eyes. He's got blood in his eyes, boy. I mean, he looks like he's possessed. Hey, but he's not smiling at all. He's not cracking jokes. He's deadly serious. He said, and I mean, a one rough hour.
And it's so bad. One rough hour, and I mean real rough, the word will get out and it will end immediately. End immediately. It'll end immediately.
Okay, so that's it right there. So we all know what that means when he says it'll end immediately, real rough. All right, so let's go to the scripts. So I got one scripture. Where is it? Right here. So this is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 10. It says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. In other words, those that led us into captivity, they will be led into captivity. They will also go into slavery. They who committed rape, robbery, and murder upon us, they will be enacted with the same judgment. Now, the modern day sword is what? The gun? Because he's talking about it's going to be real rough. He's not talking about swords like a samurai sword or Bushido blade. He's talking about the sword represents guns, pistols, machine guns, armory. Here's the patience and faith of the saints. Patience what? We got to suffer these things until when? Until Yahushua comes, and that's where the faith comes in. That Yahushua will come and he will deliver the elect and he will enact judgment or vengeance upon our enemies. And who's our enemy? Well, I was just playing him. He says it's going to be a rough day, a really rough day. And that's for what? The so-called minorities. Okay? Verse 11 says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. And he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Now, this beast is talking about this modern day system that we're in now. Okay? This modern day system, which consists of the great whore, which is America, and America has backing. They call them NATO. These are other nations that back America. But that beast is talking about this new Roman Empire. And it has what? Two horns like a lamb and speaks as a dragon. And what does a horn represent? The horn represents power. And the two horns represents who? The Democrats and the Republicans. Okay? Like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. In other words, when you hear the Republicans speak, the Democrats, they come as if they're non-violent. Non-violent, they use words to where it seems peaceful. This is a peaceful solution. But what they are doing is they're speaking like a dragon, because what a dragon does is a dragon will use double speak. A dragon will hide their true intentions with their words. They'll use the witchcraft of words to hide their true intentions. Okay? And when you speak as a dragon, it means what? That you're speaking draconian measures into existence, but the way you say it is you say it to where it sounds innocent, doesn't sound too bad. You don't get the full gravity of what these measures are put in place for. He didn't say, well, we're putting this in place because we set up the situation so that we can paint Jake and the migrants as a bad guy, so that we'll be allowed to introduce martial law, and that you people will get our approval to do so that you don't come against the police, or you don't come against us because, hey, we're fixing a problem in your neighborhood, or so we say. So they're not going to come like that. They're going to come in a way to where there's a problem, which are the migrants. They're causing chaos. And look, to protect you people, so you can go in the store and shop peacefully, we're going to send the police to send a strong message. So speaking as a dragon, speaking draconian measures into an existence, but coming in a way to where you seem non-violent and harmless. This is why they use the word white to describe themselves, because what does white mean? White means not intending to harm, innocent. But meanwhile, they're taking down nations. They're sending biological weapons. They're causing chemical explosions to pollute the air, to contaminate the food and the water and the air supply. Verse 12, it says, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him. Okay, which is going into what? The previous beast was the Roman Empire, the ancient Roman Empire. And causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Because there was a period of time where the Roman Empire was known as a Holy Roman Empire. And this is when our people, the so-called Dark Ages, where so-called Negroes was ruling Rome. They put down the Edomite, or the so-called European, a white race. They put them down, those that were ruling the Roman Empire. And then there was a time which was known as the Dark Ages. Okay? Which the Dark Ages was dark because it was dark people ruling. But then they had something called the Renaissance, the rebirth. There was a bubonic plague. There was a revolt where the so-called white man came against the dark skin rulership, and they conquered. And then they had came up with the Renaissance, or the rebirth of the Roman Empire. Okay? And this is what we're living in now. You know, the New World Order is all part of that. Basically, the New World Order is finishing where the Roman Empire left off, you know? But now they have what? Technology on their side. You see? So that's why it says a deadly wound was healed, because the Roman Empire suffered a deadly wound through Constantine, you know, and other dark rulers, but the Roman Empire, the so-called white man, recovered and regained the Roman Empire, started a Renaissance, and had a very strong foothold to the point to where before the Renaissance, everybody knew that the man the world calls Jesus Christ was a dark-skinned man. They knew his name wasn't Jesus Christ, that it was Yahushua. They knew who the real Jews were. They knew a lot of things that our people don't know right now because of the power that the Most High gave them through the Renaissance, to where they were able to heal and recover themselves and deceive the world. And here we are now. They're exercising the power that they had in Rome, where they had Jake, the Israelites, right? From John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffered the violence. So they're back in that powerhouse again. Okay, so Lord's will, that makes sense. If not, drop a comment on the comment board, and I can go more into it through the Spirit of Yahweh by Shimi Hawashai. But anyway, that was it. You know, this is going to be a hell of a year, man. Ooh, it's going to be a hell of a year. Got all types of stuff happening, man. And I've been looking at the stock market charts. You know, I'm always monitoring. I've been learning how to read the stock market and stuff, just the charts, doing technical analysis. And from what I see, looking at the NASDAQ and S&P, it looks like the stock market is getting ready to have a major drop soon. So all these things happening, the so-called New Year is coming up, you know, and they love to do this stuff around the so-called holidays when everybody's broke, you know. So, man, we're going to see what the Lord does next, you know. So anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. All praises to Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushai. Ba'ashim Kakwadash. Shalom.